Hi everyone. I have another guest for you today. Thank you for the likes, thank you for subscribing, thank you for your comment, thank you for sharing this YouTube channel. And I hope it's been an exciting moment. Today I have a guest in the house. She's a registered nurse in Nigeria, a registered nurse here in the United States of America. But to my amazement, she's also a licensed financial professional. Welcome, Sister Yemi. I call her Sister Yemi. Can you please
Thank
do
you
a
so
brief
much.
introduction so that my audience will know who you are? Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you so much for the accolade. I remain my loyal self, popularly known as Yemak. I am a nurse by profession, and I'm also a mother of four. I am a busy mom, and I'm also into business. I've been in the United States for over 3 years, and I'm thriving in both healthcare industry and the financial world. So meet your humble person, Yemak.
Wow. Okay, I'll be calling you Yemak. So, Yemak, have you been in financial industry while in Nigeria, or you just pick up that role after getting to United States? I want a brief story behind you becoming a financial professional.
All right. So I love sharing my stories a lot. It happened that I was working in one of the prestigious hospitals in Nigeria, and even at that, before the end of the month, I still struggled. Myself and my husband still sorting out bills as a result of expensive transportation, cost of living, and all that. At that point, I had a friend who did not even use his degree to work but was into business. And I was like, can you just show me how you do this business? So she told me about it and all that. That was how I got into business. And since then, my life changed a little bit from others in the sense that I no longer complained, about money, especially when there is delay in salary and all that. So any little thing I'm into it, business. I just love business.
Wow.
So just to
Multiple
add
streams of income, not just relying on one means,
one,
right?
exactly. The fact that yes, everybody says, "Oh, nursing is a noble profession, is a noble. At least it will give you good, income." But I realized that in life, it goes beyond, just sitting down and doing one job alone, and that has been my lifestyle. I love business a lot, so it was easy for me to acclimatize to the business world in the United States. Why? Because I love business already. So when that opportunity came, I was able to grab that and run with it. Yeah.
Okay. So do you have to go get license, or you just have to put in some capital? Just give like a brief background to you getting to all
I
this
so
stuff.
like you rightly
Because in the
said.
United States, I know everything is regulated, Even if
It's
you go to to fix your car, they are going to give you a receipt. They do it as if it's
Yeah,
an official thing, and it's not like
I
that
know,
back
right?
home. And everything is regulated. So how did you just wake up one day and say, "Oh, I want to"? I need a brief story.
All right, that's great. Thank you for asking. When you wanted to introduce me the other time, you said licensed financial professional. It means the word license is there. You have to do the normal regulations per state's protocol, and then you get the exam done, you pass, and then you'll be given the license to educate people on about their finances. I didn't just jump into it. When I came in, of course, I was focused on doing my nursing because I thought that was it. But I still realized that, if we still follow that pattern of just working, 12 hours shift or 9 to 5 job, you just discover that, yeah, you might be able to afford the basic necessities of life, but you might not be able to live that, that life
Luxury.
of luxury or that comfort that you want for yourself. So I started like, okay, when I had my baby, I had to stay at home. Then I realized many people were going back to work at 6 weeks. I said, I can't do this. Even where I came from, at least you stay 3 months, 4 months, right? Before you go back to work. But here, When you sit down at home, no dollars, no money, no income. And I was
Clock
like,
in,
what?
clock out.
Yeah, you
If you
just
don't
have to
clock
pay
in, no money for you.
before you get your money. So I was like, no, 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 I can't continue this lifestyle. So I was opened to opportunities that time. I saw a lot of things. Some people tell you just do this, but I love the fact that something can back up whatever I'm doing, like a license, like, having a protection. If you're a nurse, you have to be registered before practicing that. So if you're a financial professional, you have to be licensed to do it. So I don't want a situation whereby I'll be doing something and then in the next few years they will be telling me that, oh, this is not what you should be doing because you are in a country with rules and regulations. And that was why I just stick true to what's it called, to the financial professional business. And I realized that time it was a turning moment for me. I was at home for 3 months. No $1 came into my account. And thankfully, my husband was working. So I was like, what if I do not have, maybe if I didn't have a supporting spouse, how would I have survived those days? And that's why
You
you
have
see,
bills to pay. Bills.
because you have this to pay, so
Utility.
you have to jump back to work. So that was when I knew that no, I have to have a plan B. So that has been my plan B, and honestly, it has been an amazing story. As you can see in the last award I got in San Antonio.
Antonio.
So I've always liked to put, my best in whatever I do. Even in the nursing world, I put the best. So if I'm doing business as well, I want to put that professional touch so that people will know that they are having the value, that they are
Of
looking
their
for
money.
in whatever services I'm rendering to them. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's interesting. So you have to go
Thank
get your
you.
license. I love
Yeah.
the word "I'm open for opportunity." I know there's always a mantra behind United States that they say land of opportunities. So we
Opportunities.
shouldn't be rigid. We should be flexible to try
Exactly.
other things out. Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you, thank you for that. So next question. What kind of support system or resources have been most helpful to you as an immigrant nurse?
I would say most people that came in through maybe agencies are they are fortunate. Why would I say so? Because they provided most of the resources that one needs to balance well in the first half of the contract life. So what am I saying is this: if you just come into the States without somebody having it to look for a better place, a better environment to live in, the kind of language they speak over there, the way you train your accent so that they can understand you, it will be difficult to adjust. And recently, I found out that some nurses that just come straight without, maybe they just do it by themselves, no support from anywhere, and they find themselves in this kind of environment, might struggle compared to people that have someone to hold them by their hands and say, okay, do this, or okay, follow this, okay, follow this. It's very simple when you have people that are successful, that are in the front, and they can be able to lead you through. And that's why I happened to come in through agency, and for me that's the best opportunity I have coming into the United States with something I didn't, a new environment, new people, new language, new culture. Your children have to go to school, but by the time we were arriving, they already, gave us some people. They call them, I think, is it resourceful people that they're just going to, go take you to the bank.
Community licensing officer. I think I have seen
Perfect.
them.
CLO, right? They're gonna, show you the shopping malls to use. They're gonna show you the bank, how to open your bank account. What's it called? To even your children's school, if you have, even your for your husband, they give resources where they can look for jobs. So you are not just clueless. Because information is key in this part of the world. I've
Yeah.
seen people struggling even in their 15, 20 years in the States. And I've seen people less than 2 years, they've done, marvelously well. Why? Because they have a strong foundation of that, where to go. Because when you have the right information, when you ask the right people, you'll be able to avoid all their own mistakes and then ride successfully. So for me, coming through an
Your
agency has been,
agency.
honestly, is the best, because the earth stream in terms of what
What
to
to
know in
expect in the
work,
hospital.
what to expect in my work environment, that's there. And then they also give me people that I should, that will show me the environment that I'm living, take me to the bank, take me to the shopping mall, take my children to, show us how to apply for schools. It's different. You can't just walk to any school and say, I want to enroll my children. So there are protocols to all this. And having somebody to guide you, to take you by your hand, to show you all these things, honestly, for me, is gold.
Yeah, I think I experienced the same. But our people back home, like people are always about the money, the money. We have this different options. It's good to have options like direct
Yeah,
hire agency. You came through agency, and I think we
yes,
came through the same agency, and I have the same points of view
excellent.
as yours because I don't have to go scope with anybody. They already showed the housing before leaving, and you have opportunity to choose and all that. But people back home have this mindset that, hey, will the money be enough? Agency is paying less than $30. I have direct hire that will pay me $50. This, that, that. I know it's a personal decision to make, but I think you said
Yeah,
something. You said information is key. So when you
yeah.
came, was the money enough? Despite the fact that you came through the agency, do you have extra or you use all your money to pay bills? Did you have any regrets? Like maybe you have a thought one day that, oh, maybe I would have gone through direct hire because they pay more.
I know you know my answer already, but I'm going to put it, on the public space. If I'm given another opportunity to take another decision over and over, I will take agency. And my reasons are very simple. Like I told you, money is not everything. Yeah. When agency already knows how much they're going to pay you. So they know the environment they are going to fix you in, that the money they are going to pay you will still be okay or sufficient. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They are not going to push you in the big city where your income will not align with the cost of living. You understand?
That's
So
another thing to look out for.
that's another thing to look at. And if you're coming newly to the United States, honestly, you should not eye the big city, or else you will join the bandwagon of living paycheck to paycheck, because the cost of living is super high. Right now, I'm living in part of Texas where I paid times five of my electricity bill that I was paying when I was in the state of Iowa. So you have to look at what you're
A
coming
lot
into.
of
And
factors.
a lot of factors. So if I'm looking at maybe 40 over $40 per hour here, and less than $30 per hour where I was coming from, I'll pick that one, because that one will enable you to save a lot, to plan your family well, and you will not be agitated, you will not be anxious that this thing will not be sustainable. Especially, that's why many of those people that find themselves in those shoes, they cannot even take a day off for themselves,
They
except the
have to
strict day
work
off. Sometimes
overtime.
they even take overtime. Why? Because they have to live up to standard. So for me, money, you will have it, but you must have a very strong structure for you to build big in the United States. So if you want to start big, you might have a lot of challenges going forward. But if you start small and then find your way climbing up to the top, it will be, of course, it will be a roller
Especially
coaster.
coming into a new environment.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah.
So the answer is the money was still remaining. It was
Oh my
enough.
God. Remaining is an understatement. It was more than sufficient, because you are not really buying a lot of stuff there, because what someone will buy in the city for maybe $10, you're gonna use less than $5 to buy such. So definitely you're gonna save more, you're gonna have clarity more, and you also have a lot of advantages are attached to starting small, honestly, in the United States.
Thank you. So, to my next question, how have you been able to connect with other immigrant nurses? Do immigrant nurses have resource for themselves, like people coming together, like having someone to mentor you, having someone to ask questions, like people that have gone ahead of you, that came earlier? Like, let's say you want to buy a house, you want to buy a car, you need a credit card. Apart from the agency support, is there
Yeah.
any group like that that immigrant nurses hear their voices and get answers to their questions?
Of course, yes, definitely. We always have, small groups online, and thankfully, we are now in the digital era, right? So, a lot of groups on WhatsApp that you just find yourself. We have an agency WhatsApp group for Nigerian nurses, specifically for your own people, right? So, and that has been a very, very, important and useful resource for people. Uh, I would say most of my early decisions that we took right in the United States came from all these groups, and some might not be too good, but many of them are valuable. Many, because most of the people talk from their personal experience. They like, oh, don't do this because this is what we experienced when we were doing it, and then that will act like a caution, and then you want to, act right and all that. So we have a lot of small groups that you learn from, and also when I came in, I was introduced to Nigeria, in the court city. That means we have even not only online community, we also
So
have
that's a mix of different professionals,
different
not just
backgrounds,
nurses.
different. You've seen people stayed over 40 years in the United States. They came in here in the 80s. So for people like that, they have wealth of knowledge. They've built, a lot of things in the states and
Experiences.
even in diaspora. So we usually have, I think, 2 times we come together. Apart from online space, they do party, education. Even when I wasn't even a licensed financial professional, they do finance. Like they will just bring someone, to come and educate us on how to live your life,
Invest.
how to invest, how not to invest, what to do, what not to do. And they
That's
let all those,
interesting.
I tell you, they let all those old people talk. Those people that money is not their problem. They failed, they've succeeded, they failed. So they were able to, tell us their experience, what they learned from all those failed investment, and why you should not go into it. And if you want to go into it, these are the better approaches to that. So
So for
yeah.
my audience thinking that, oh, will my children have an African to marry? So that's for you. So we still have social groups, social gatherings
Yes,
of our
definitely.
own people, yeah,
Of our own people.
Nigerians, yeah.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm,
people, the children can meet together, the parents can meet
exactly.
together, then you can
Exactly.
feel like you are home again, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
So,
correct.
so my last question, what advice do you have for our people, nurses back in Africa, that still have one negative thoughts about pursuing a greener pasture in the Western world? Can you just please give a word
Oh
of
my God.
advice?
Okay, I usually say something. Sometimes there's this popular saying that said, uh, the field is not green on the other side. And sometimes I say it's not all fields. Some fields are actually greener. And that is the truth. Especially when you come in via the legal routes, when you use the legal means to come in as a professional, you're gonna start on a pedestrian that is different from the other, people that came in illegally. Let me put it that way. Nothing in the United States is not fun. Even though, yes, you're gonna live a good lifestyle, you're gonna have the money, but you must know your onions. Let me put it that way. When you have the right information, you will not struggle, because I've seen nurses even in the United States still struggling. But Is it worth pursuing? Is capital yes. Is capital yes. And I don't usually have any regret. I would have said the only regret
Yeah,
is
that
not.
would have been my next question. That any regrets?
I would have said my regret is not coming in earlier, right?
Wow.
Earlier than
Wow.
expected, because time is not our friend. A lot of things happened, age wise and all that. But
And even the immigration is not static. I remember
yeah,
it took me less than a year from passing NCLEX to getting here. So
oh
if
my
somebody is
God,
now thinking it's getting long, it's getting long, it's not long. Start now so that the time we start counting now,
exactly,
it will
exactly,
eventually come,
exactly.
right?
That's the perfect statement.
So,
When you want to define a failure is someone who did not start at all, not someone that started and couldn't make it. Failure is if you don't even attempt it, because the moment you attempt something, it means you are on a path. On a path. It might now there might be a delay, there might be a gap, there might be obstacle, but one day, because you have set your foot on that path, it will surely come true. If anybody is coming to the United States as a nurse, honestly, that's one of the best decisions anyone can make. Yeah.
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for honoring my invitation. Yeah,
You're
ma.
welcome.
This is so
You're welcome, ma'am.
insightful. I hope my audience are blessed. Someone is inspired. Please don't
Yeah,
forget, if this channel has inspired you, don't forget to like, subscribe,
yeah,
and share. Thank
yeah.
you. We'll stop
You're welcome.
here. And I hope if I call you some other day, you still
Oh
come.
my God. Anytime, anytime. Let's do this over and over to encourage our people over there, to also give them hope, to also let them know that, yeah, if they want to stay there and still do things, it's possible, it's fine. And if they want to move in, it's also possible and it's fine as well. Everybody should just be happy. We just want to be happy, right? Yeah, let's do it together.
All right. Thank you. Bye
You're
for
welcome,
now.
Mama. Bye.
Bye.